Hello, I hope you are well. We are going to start working on multiplying integers. So this is our positive and negative numbers. And this is our Google site, which can always be found under our Google Classroom and then the class website. What we're doing today is we are starting to, it's your video, you're going to need your Chromebook, pencil, scrap paper, and multiplication chart. You need to do a Go formative. This will show you my thing. If it says it asks you for permission, just ask for permission and then sign in through Google. And then it lets you in. So go do that. It's easy, 2 points. And then what we're going to do today is we're going to review how to use a multiplication chart. If you do not have one at home, you can easily just Google multiplication chart, go to images, and you can pick from anyone that you want. Like, it doesn't matter. You just click on it and it pops on up. So there's all different ones. So we'll just use this one for the sake of, I don't know. They're all here. So there's all different ones that you can pick from if you need one. Because if you're here at school, I have them, but I can't give you paper because you're at home. So anyway, I'll just use this one because I like the colors. So what we're going to be doing is we're going over a multiplication chart. So for instance, if you wanted to do 5 times 7, you would go to 5, go to 7, and your answer is 35. And do 8 times 9, go to 8, go over to the row that has 9, and your answer is 72. And 4 times 6, go to 4, go over to 6, and your answer is 24. Sorry, I'm yawning. I apologize. So that is that. I'm going to show you something else. You're just a little out of order from in class. We're going to go over the ways that multiplication might look, but I'm going to wait until we get to the Nearpod and I can write because I can't write on here. So I'm going to come back to that. I want you to watch this video introducing integers. It's funny.
It's not that easy.
Yeah, so skip your ad. So we're gonna watch that song. It's trying to be funny. And then you're gonna complete this Nearpod. If you're in person, you're gonna use this code. I'm gonna yawn again. Sorry. And then if you're hybrid, you're gonna be using this code. I'm gonna pull it up because I already have it. And just figure out where to put my head. So what we're gonna be doing is we're multiplying integers, and we're going to look at patterns to determine if things need to be, if our answers need to be positive or negative. So students will be able to derive the rules for multiplying integers by examining number patterns. I'm going again. I'm so sorry. I'm tired. So complete this table. You should know how to do this. So like, what's 2 times 2? You're gonna hit a little thing. You can do text, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do this. I think it's easier. 2 times 2 is 4. Complete these, fill them in. 1 times 2 is 2. Like, do that. Then it's gonna go over here and it's showing you that the big idea is that multiplication is repeating, like repetition. So 4 times 3 is 12 because 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8 because 4 plus 4 is 8. It's the first number however many times. And then it's showing you that if we're going to examine some product patterns across the rows, what that means is, so you have this is nothing. And then you start at 2. So you're subtracting by 1 is 1, 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. Next one, you're going down by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, minus 2 is 2. It's just patterns. Right. Same here. So 1 times 2 is 2, but 2 minus 1 is 1. It's just different patterns that we're seeing on the number chart. So 0 is just all zeros. So with this, if we did it negative, we have 2 minus 1 is 1. This was our rule, minus 1. Here our rule is minus 2. Here our rule is minus 1. And here our rule is just 0. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Here we're doing the same thing. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Same here. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. And here you're going to have all zeros. 0 times anything is 0. So it shows you there, just to confirm, same pattern going down. 0 is going to be all zeros. So same exact pattern. This is going down by 2s. This is going down by 1s. So you're going to have to put your zeros in there. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So this is where we get into negative 1 minus 1. So when we have two negatives, this is what we need to start looking at. So I also told you I was going to show you how things were, how math was, the 3 different ways that you will see multiplication problems. So we're going to pause for a second. First, let's do, it can look like this. If you see this, this is probably the way you're used to seeing it. 5x7, 5 times 7. Then there's also 5, it's a dot, 7. And if there's nothing in between, if it just looks like this, in parentheses, these are all multiplication. These are all the exact same things. So in pre-algebra, which is what you're in, you will not see this one very much because we're going to use x as a variable later because we're going to have to solve for x. And we don't want to be like, wait, is that like a letter to represent a number or is that multiplication? So we're going to be using these two. This is what your multiplication is going to start looking like. So let me erase this. And then we're going to start looking at patterns. So if we have like negative 1 times negative 1, that's going to equal positive 1. That's weird. You have two negatives. In addition, if you add two negatives, it's negative. Weird. Okay. We have negative 1 times, it's hard to do this, negative 1 times negative 1, that equals negative 1. Weird. 1, 2, 3. So if I have 3 negative 1s, that equals negative 1. Because 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times anything is that number. But if I have 2 negative 1s, it's positive 1. Okay. So if I have negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. Now I have 4 negative 1s. It's positive 1. So you're telling me positive, negative, positive. I bet if I had 5 negative 1s, it would be negative. It what? If you did 5 times negative 1, it'd be negative. Well, shucks. That would have to be 5 1s. I just don't know that I have room for it. If I wrote out 5 negative 1s, that'd be negative 1. It's going to go 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1. It's going to go down because, look, 2 negatives equal positive. 3 negatives equal a negative. 4 negatives equal positive. 5 negatives would equal a negative. 6 negatives would equal a positive. What do we know about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? They're even numbers. If you have an even number of negatives, if you look at your problem, I don't care if it is 20 numbers. If there is an even number of negatives, your answer is going to be positive. If there's an odd number, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, an odd number, 21, your answer is going to be negative. So even number of negatives, you're going to have a positive answer. An odd number of negatives, you're going to have a negative answer. So positive plus positive, or positive multiplied by positive equals positive. Negative times negative equals positive. Negative times positive equals negative. Let's find out. So look, positive, 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 negative is when you have one of each. It's negative. Then if you have 2, like here's 1. See how the gray, because it's 2, and 2 is an even number. So if you have an even number of negative numbers, your answer is going to be positive. If you have an odd number of negative numbers, your answer is going to be negative. So showing you positive times positive equals positive. Positive times negative equals negative. Negative times positive equals negative. Negative times negative equals positive. So the product of two integers with the same sign is positive, and the product of integers with opposite signs is negative. But once you get into larger numbers, like multiplying 3 and 4 numbers together, just count up your negatives. Even, odd. Even number of negatives, positive. Odd number of negatives, negative. And you're going to take a little quiz. After you do that, so here there's only one. Look here, there's only one negative. Is 1 an odd number or even number? Only one odd number, even number. Only one odd number, even number. 1, 2. There's 2 negatives in that one. Odd number, even number. And then after, here's 2, odd or even. Odd or even. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is an even number. So it's going to be positive 1 or negative 1. So here, just count up those things. You don't have to do the math. It's going to be 64, positive or negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what do I know about 6? Positive or negative? And then you can use a text box for this if you want. You can type in here. And then that is it for that. We'll go back to the site. If we finish that up, which I'm not sure we will or not, you're going to go to quizzes to do some more practice. So start. Game. So if a negative is multiplied with a positive, what would the answer be? So you're going to play. If you finish that, here's Orbit's integers multiplication. If you have any questions, as always, email me. All right. Hope you are well. Bye.